So, folks who are going to be watching the VOD are going to see a little bit of a different sight around these parts. This is my productivity stream screen. This is what I usually do when I'm live on Twitch, doing some video editing, or if I'm writing, or campaign prep, or most oftentimes it is used when I'm being my least productive, which is whilst doing Mephisto music streams. So those are usually like, this most often is used for that. You'll note that I have some excellent bad Photoshops. I'm not good at Photoshop, but I am great at bad Photoshop. So, we live, that's right. How's it going, everybody? And I actually canceled my guests tonight. I had Haywo was scheduled to be on. I'll get into that in a second. And I had a backup guest ready to go. But, quite frankly, I don't know what I might say. I have a bad habit of not being able to fucking keep my mouth shut. I don't know if anyone's noticed that. I don't think you have, 124 episodes, 9 years of streaming, 3 years of Age of Sigmar content. Nobody's noticed it yet, but I have a problem with talking too fucking much. And that's not the worst part. The worst part is that I wear myself on my sleeve. I am honest to a fault. It is scientifically fucking proven. Go back in time and watch the episode I did with Dr. Alex Mylonas where I did a personality survey. And honesty was one of my most, highest rated skills. Or personality traits, whatever the fuck it was. Positive, it was some positive psychology bullshit. You might almost say that I'm like some sort of like honest person who makes Warhammer content. Like an honest Warhammer gamer. But enough about that. I am, of course, the magical Mr. Mephisto, the most dangerous man in Age of Sigmar. I'm flying solo tonight because I am cheating for content by doing a tier list. The only way it gets lazier than a tier list is an unboxing video. And quite frankly, a Battletome review is basically the equivalent of our unboxing videos here on Age of Sigmar or on Warhammer stuff. So, like, I mean, get pretty close to that. I am an honest Warhammer is what I was saying, yeah. Super honest. So I'm just now realizing that Vince V here, the bad Photoshop, isn't going to work where I put Vince. Darn. I was hoping that would work. I had faith that Vince V here covering up the part of the chat will work. That's fine. He is but a tiny human rat human compared to the might of Haywo. So we'll just go ahead and shrink him down. Wizardry dropping in with 52 years of support. Hey, I'm not judging. I'm not judging them by calling something lazy. I'm not saying bad. I'm lazy. Okay? I'm not bad. I'm fucking awesome. I'm just saying. Okay? It's I needed a layup tonight, right? Layups aren't bad. They get you easy points. They're a high percentage shot. There's nothing wrong with lazy. Lazy's good, actually. So I'm just finishing off here the last of my Louis Demise from MKE, or Milwaukee Brewing Company. Beers that I purchased to celebrate the second adventure, or the second episode, I should say, first adventure of my V5 actual play. That's happening live on Twitch on Wednesdays, 8:30. So I have doubled my content output, but not if you don't care about vampire shit. So, I'm technically on brand, okay? Like, I'm the death horror aficionado. It's my shit. So... Yeah, of course you can. Of course you can. Yeah, drop it in there. You two are fucking awesome? Damn right you are, Saturni. Laziness can promote ingenuity. Yeah, so, like, again, to say something's lazy, that's not... I'm not knocking it. Just calling it as I sees it. So tonight's tier list is... tonight's tier list is actually based on Twitter post. I made this Twitter account 9 years ago when I started streaming, basically. I think it was still Justin TV back there, or back then, or you could log into Twitch via Justin TV. It was something along those lines. So that was right around the time I started streaming. So I started this account back then. Here we can check the tapes here. Boom, joined June 2013. Ugh. So yeah, there we go. But I in all that time, I have never had. Ooh, this is horrible. This is horrible. Until you've tackled the Plasma Obliterator. GW's adventure into Chinese cast plastics was not a smashing success. The plastic was unyielding, the guides for making sure parts fit together properly, non-existent. Assembly was an act of will. This is actually high art. This is gorgeous. I don't think I can add it to the tier list real quick, actually. Anyway, so yeah, this is the most successful Twitter post with the most engagement I have ever fucking had. Basically, I don't know if anybody knows this, but like a tournament happened this week and there was a bunch of bullshit that happened. So I spent like the last 72 hours talking with people, advocating shit, being an ambassador for my region. It wasn't fun. I saw the worst side of Warhammer this last week, and I'm not happy about it. So I thought I would clear the air the best way I know how, which is a cathartic airing of grievances, getting angry at something that doesn't matter. Okay? Anger is useful. Having anger, we've evolved to have anger. We keep it because, as a species, it is useful to us. Being locked in anger, misplacing your anger, doing stuff with your anger because we're not in like a hunter-gatherer constant survival mode situation where it's misplaced isn't great for you. But anger is good in the right doses. And so this is about taking that anger that you could maybe take out on somebody or something or whatever it is and just take it out on a stupid fucking model that just won't fit together. That's what this is about. So I thought I'd help us clear the air some. I thought I'd help us achieve catharsis. I made this post, and what is it? 50-some replies later. It's got more replies than it has likes. That's how eager people were to be mad at a mini. Okay? That's right. That's right. So just I wish more folks had actually shared the picture of the model that they were harshing on, so that it would have made the tier list side of it easier. But to be fair, I wasn't thinking I was going to do a tier list shit anyway, so how could they know? But then I got it in my head to do a tier list. So we got a bunch of this shit. I've got some images here. So I didn't really put criteria in it, but for me there's like an unspoken criteria, which is everybody knows metals suck to put together. You're not blowing anybody's mind at how bad a metal model is to put together. So I didn't disqualify metal models. They just needed to be like exceptionally bad, even for a metal model, above and beyond. So to that end, we're gonna establish some parameters. Right here, I have. Oh, what is this? This is this is Cetra. Oh no, Cetra's a representation for all metal models. So I'm gonna put Cetra at meh shit. We all know metal models suck. Yeah, you just gotta pin it, glue it. So, Setra here is our stand-in for all metal models. Meh, shit. There you go. That is the, sorry, we know they're all bad to put together. Every other metal model you see in this list is operating at a penalty. Okay? So, obviously, the worst thing to put together is a double winner, and I feel like I need to explain double winner to you, alright? So as the thread was progressing, folks would, there'd be multiple posts on one thing, but then people would kind of, like, establish a narrative of how bad it was, and I started saying, like, this one had won the thread, and this one had won the thread, sort of thing, as, like, a hyperbole to really just, this is the exemplary bad model to put together. That doesn't mean the model's bad. It just means it's like, it sucks to put together, right? But that wasn't good enough. As the thread developed more, there was essentially what I started to call double winners, because they just, not only were they horrible to put together, but they had this narrative to put together. And to that end, I'm going to go ahead and grab this, I hope this is the image of the plastic rhino. I don't remember what it is. Yes, I am not a 40k content creator. I don't know fuck all about 40k that isn't, like, outside of a very narrow view and a very limited time space. But I'm going to put the original Warhammer 40k Rhino, the plastic Rhino, at double winner. And the reason it got double winner is because as the person talked about it, I had trauma flashbacks to my first plastic Rhino. And I, as a child in middle school or, like, early high school, thought I was crazy. But then this person came in there and they're like, it was always warped. It was impossible to get together. And, like, they also told a story of childhood trauma trying to put this together. We'll talk about failed later. So double winner, not only is it the worst model to put together, it is exemplary the worst. Not only is it the worst thing you could possibly put together, it has inflicted harm on you putting it together. And so we have the original plastic Rhino from 40k in the double winner category. It is just, not only is it the worst, but like, I trauma bonded with somebody remembering this thing. Okay, that's about as bad as it gets. So I explicitly stated 40k or Age of Sigmar in my thread. So there were a couple of folks that kind of went outside the purview of what I had stated, and I had to make a judgment call, like on the spot, like things happen that you don't anticipate, but it's like, I'll allow it. I did that, and one person mentioned and I'm just gonna set this here at meh shit tier because this is kind of where we start out at, right? Like, it made the list, so it sucks to put together, right? Like, you're automatically at least this far. You're at least meh shit. So we've got the Chaos Dreadfort, right, or the Chaos Dreadhold. The pitch was that there's just clipping and, like, you have to actually, like, use a vise and stuff. Now that sounds horrible to put together, but I haven't personally put this one together yet. So, like, I kind of feel like I already made an exception to allow it in because it's terrain. So I'm like, yeah, it's shit, but it's terrain. It's your fault. So I don't know. What does chat gang think? Is it worse than, like, yeah, it's shit? Like, it's the minimum threshold of the worst model ever. It's awful. Okay. Like, is it the minimum amount of awful? Like, this is the threshold to even get you to the dance. To even get to this super exclusive VIP party of the worst models one could ever put together. Like, is this mesh? Is it respectably shit? Like, respectably shit. Like, it goes a step. Like, it's shit, but, like, ooh, like, it's got that extra zest to it. Or are we all the way to the cream of the stop? Like, you're putting it together. Now, this is what I would call... This is A tier. This is your quintessential shit. This is basically the worst of the worst. This is as bad as it gets. This is the poster child. Like, this is you're putting it together and you're thinking about quitting Warhammer. That's how bad the cream of the stop is. Never finished it is closing on cream of the stop. But I'm going to drop it down to respectably. It's just respectably shit. You know what you're getting into if you're putting this thing together. Rational Nihilist dropping a Twitch Prime for 8 years. Ortorius dropping a Tier 1 sub for 3 years on a hot streak. He's on fire! Thank you so much for supporting the stream. The plastic itself is nasty. Yeah, I'm gonna make a judgment call here. I'm gonna say respectably shit. It's above the like it. Not only does it come to the VIP party, but it cracks open a bottle of champagne. All right. So I'm gonna go ahead and grab here these executioners. So these are the metal executioners, 6th edition metal dark elf executioners. Now, like I said, all metal is shit. We know that. All metal, therefore, operates at a penalty because, like, we get it. You're not special. What is, I made this, then noticed the flaws of the build and not having a hard time and now I'm not having a hard time painting it. You're probably between, like, meh shit and respectably shit. I think you're somewhere in that threshold. I think you're between like meh shit and like like you're at the party. But did you buy the champagne or do you have like the VIP seat? I'm usually a round up kind of guy, but I'm gonna be stingy with the cream of the stop. If you got it together and got to the painting phase, it wasn't that bad to build. It might suck. Lots of minis suck to build, okay? The worst builds. That's exclusive, okay? No, I can't because there's gonna be there's a joke in here somewhere. But yeah, I can. Just pretend like you didn't know the joke was coming when you see the joke coming. You've been forewarned. There is a joke. Me, would I make corny jokes? Yeah, of course I would. It's basically my brand at this point. All right, how's that? Bad Photoshop fixed? Okay. Imagine making metal in the current year. Yeah, it wouldn't happen. Well, I mean, it might. All right, so back to this. So the executioners. Joke, yeah. Singular. So metal executioners, again, like 6th edition versions. As it was told to me, and I'm gonna take the word of the person who shared this. I could be wrong on the edition, but the one they were talking about was a 2-piece kit. Well, the minis were 2 pieces. It was the body and the blade glued onto the sword in some way, and it was like in weird places, so it always exploded off. Now, I have established that metal, we get it, you're all shit, but this one breaks the rules. This is respectably shit. This immediately contradicts something I said a little bit earlier, but it is the exception to that rule I established earlier, where you get it together, and so you're like, yeah. The fact that it's 2 pieces... They managed to make something so aggressively punishing to you, the player, is like fucking respectable in any medium. Okay? It's just the body and the sword, and then you glue the sword on, and it just explodes off constantly and forever. That is mwah, fucking respectable shit. Okay? That one's cracking a bottle of champagne. So this one, had I known, was metal. I probably wouldn't have had it on the list, but I had a good sales pitch for it. So this is, I'm going to go ahead and open up my Twitter feed over here so I can use my cheat sheet, which is just other people telling me how awesome it is. This is another reason why tier lists are cheating and lazy, because you're basically just pilfering other people's, like hard work. I ain't even trying to do this right now. I'm trying to hold my tongue about, like, drama. That's the hardest part of this stream tonight. Alright, here we go. So this is the Chaos Dwarf Hell Cannon. This is metal, and we get it, all metal as shit. But, So Holy Wars Herner, or Holy Hammer Herner, who's a pretty solid hobbyist, like, I'd say one of the best in, one of the best in the world, certainly one of the best in America. If he says something shit, you listen, because he's one of those like sort of top tier hobbyists. And he says Hell Cannon's the worst. Just what he said. I'm like, and I probed him a little bit because I'm a savvy interviewer. And I said, hello, why? Why? And he goes, all metal with gaps on every section and as wide as the Mississippi. Overweighted for the wheels and horribly balanced. The details were painful to clean if you could even clean them at all. The flashing in the worst areas near impossible to clean. But the Chaos Dwarf crew was, a redeeming part. Yeah. Yeah, so like I said, I might not have included this, but when Herner drops in, you listen. I think that's just the normal amount of shit, though. That's just the metal mini. So I'm gonna drop it in here right next to Cetra. If someone wants to like make a case for it, I might listen to you. But you need to understand that this isn't. So like most people will explain to you that that tier lists are no, because it's got the Steve Herner clout. So most people will explain to you that like tier lists are super flawed. They're highly opinionated. People always try to establish them with like a sense of credibility, but when it gets right down to it, they're purely subjective affairs. I'm not going to do that to you. I'm going to let you know that this tier list is empirical. It has been fact checked. It has been peer reviewed. I actually had a team of robots run a bunch of numbers and confirm. Like I fed my opinions into 12 robotic machines that I personally programmed myself. And so I programmed all my opinions in, and I had those machines distill my opinions down using math and science and stuff. So this tier list, unlike all the other tier lists out there, this one's empirical. It is fact. It is sacrosanct. Okay? So I'm going to drop this one on at mess shit. It could be fail. I could see it as a failure because I included it all. But no, I chose to include it. It got to the party, and it stays at the party. Now here we have another one that might actually be a candidate for failed. Now we're on the candidacy for failed because I explicitly stated Age of Sigmar or 40K. So someone said the first Metal Khemri Blood Bowl set. I don't know if I have the right picture here, but it's supposed to be like the first Metal Blood Bowl set for Khemri. Apparently, the skeletons came together in 9 parts. And that's why this is on here, because... Is that fucking true? Anyone got the tapes on that? Can anyone check fact check that? I'll get my producer on it. I just find that fascinating. But this is a failure to follow the assignment. No. This is no. This is it failed the assignment. It didn't read the rubric, so it goes and failed. But it got included because the more opportunities to make fun of Khemri, specifically Tomb King related shit, the better, quite frankly. I'm kidding. I actually think the Blood Bowl team of Khemri is actually pretty sweet. All right, so we have another metal. Why are all the fucking metal minis here? I hope he does. Love you, Tomb King, Tristan. Love you, Tomb Dad. All right, so here we have the Goblin Scrap Launcher, the metal kit. Now again, whatever, clip it. So all metals are shit. We get it, but this one here, when I heard about it, it was exceptionally shitty, even for a metal mini. So it had, like, multiple bits that you had to glue together at the same time, but they were too small to pin. So you had to get, like, rubber bands and, like, rubber band it and, like, hold it together, and you're just sitting there, like, holding it together with, like, rubber bands and, like, sweating and staring at the clock, okay? This was actually the first double winner of the evening. So many people resoundingly hated this model. It was like it was a standout. Like, metal models suck. We get it. But man, this thing, like, the stories I was hearing, like, it wasn't just one it was everyone had a horror story of this mini. It traumatized people. This is a double winner. This was the first double winner of the night. So, like, easy. This is why, because I was just going to have, like, a regular S tier, you know? And basically, how bad some of these old minis were, that kind of, like, broke my own rules for the thing, but I'm an anarchist, so, you know, obviously, clearly, we don't believe in any rules whatsoever. You know, that's perfectly what anarchy is. Like, it's just pure chaos, no rules, like, or anything. That's anarchy. It's not like that we don't believe in unfair hierarchies and, like, rulership. It's rules specifically, right? We don't care about rules. You know, here I am being an anarchist, breaking my own rules. Double winner, though. This is like, it was so exceptional. I was thinking about, like, you know, like a S tier, and I was just going to kind of, like, generically, you know, do S tier, A tier, so on and so forth. But when I heard the story of how bad this thing was to put together, I'm like, there's a new category. I'm like, there's a new category. And that actually pushed everything down a tier. Like, it's like... It's like in Kung Fu Panda when he's like, can I start at level 0 or whatever? And he's like, there is no level 0 for Kung Fu. And then, like, he just gets his ass beat around the thing, and then, like, Sifu's like, there is now a level 0. That's what just happened. That was how glorious the, like, stories were of how bad Scrap Launcher is. Yeah. How are we defining tiers? I mean, if you want to, like, in shorthand, you've got your S tier at the top, the worst thing to put together. A tier is just, like, quintessentially the worst. The best way to really... No, I like my hyperbole better. So double winner is so bad, it basically traumatized you. Okay? Like you have trauma responses to the model. You have flashbacks. You trauma bond with people. It's so bad to put together, okay? So that's double winner. That is our S tier. It would actually be like a double S tier at a different list because, like, that tier didn't exist until I started to hear people talking about it. There was going to be a normal S tier. Then we have, like, the cream of the stop. This is a mini so horrible to put together, you stop putting it together. Like, it is painful to put together, and you just, like, and you're, like, sweating and perspiring, and you're like, no, I can't keep going. And you just, like, and, like, someone's, like, holding water, like, in a marathon run, and they're just, like, they're bringing the water over to you, and then, like, you take a timeout, and you, like, slide over into the corner, and, like, someone comes over and rubs, like, you know, super glue to, like, close the cuts on your forehead and stuff. That's cream of the stop. Like, you are in a heavyweight boxing match putting this thing together. And I'm going to flip it a little bit, all right? We're going to go to mess shit. To be on this list, to begin with, You are already the worst model to put together, okay? That is exclusive company. This is a party, all right? You're on the list. Lots of people walked up. They came up to the building, and many of them were turned away. And you were surprised to find yourself on the list. That's meh shit. Every metal model is meh shit. Like, we get it. It's shit to put together. You're at the party, though, so it's still exceptional. And then respectably shit is like, whew. Like, you're at the party and you buy a bottle of champagne. Okay? Like, you're not just shit. You're exceptionally shit. Okay? So there you go. That's your sort of breakdown. And failed we haven't really discussed yet. But Khemri's in it. So, Screaming Skull Catapult. And I promise you this one's not here just to dunk on Khemri. I actually had a Screaming Skull Catapult myself. And this one's on here for the sheer volume of people who hated putting it together. Has anyone else put one of these things together? Is anyone in chat, gang? You found a spur picture? Yes, it is actually that many parts. Brilliant. So, Screaming Skull Catapult is on here kind of by virtue of how many people disliked it. Current Dryhead kit. Current Dryhead kits. I would put it at like respectably shit. I don't think I've got it here, by the way. If there's anything I've left off the list, you can hop over to Twitter, and just drop a picture of yours or say the thing that you hate. That Twitter feed's still blowing up right now. So the Screaming Skull Catapult, amid a teeming sea of metals that sucked to put together, it was exceptional. This was my first memory of a bad sculpt to put together. That's why. See, not to dunk on it. I am like I said, charitable person. And this is, again, unlike other tier lists, this one is objectively true. I crunched the numbers through 12 computers. I programmed myself. This is what it said. This is it. This is facts. I can't help you. So this one here is this image here actually represents every War Machine model. They're shit. They're shit. They're just sorry. You heard it here first. All your models are shit. They're goofy. They're cartoonish. They're wapajog. They're just they don't. I guess Cricks are pretty dope. And then we got Gazgul Thraka. This one surprised me to show up in my feed now. Like, there were a couple 40k sculpts that surprised me. This one was one of them. So I've never put this together. Yeah, it goes well beyond that. I will be taking no comments at this time. This is what the machine said. Sorry, I can't help you. Now, Gazgul Thraka, perhaps you can help me. Why do you suppose this one showed up on my feed? Has anyone put this one together? Come on, we got to have a few 40k stands in the audience. Ooh, crickets, silence. I mean, it made it to the party, so I guess yeah, it's shit. All right. This. No. That's Whitesnake. So this is here. Try to find the post. Because this has a specific name. It's more 40k shit, so whatever. Melkador tanks. So this is So this is a Melkador tank. It is a Forge World thing. This is a stand-in image for everything Forge World. Now, didn't technically fail the assignment. So it'll like it. Yeah, it's shit. Like we get it. All Forge World, and I'm going to extend it to all resin sucks. Yeah, it's shit. They all suck. Perfect. This one surprised me. Blissbarb Archers. Yeah, like it's mushroom. I reference this frequently enough, and you know what? I don't know the legality of watching another YouTube video on a YouTube VOD. I know it's fine on Twitch, but yeah, I guess if it gets demonetized or whatever, sure. Not that I'm monetized. I still need like 50 subscribers. So hey, if you're watching on YouTube, please click that subscribe button. I'm about to watch somebody else's content. Here we go. Everyone needs to be familiar with this analogy. I reference it constantly. So you're welcome. We're about to learn about rock, paper, scissors.
Warriors are rock. Hunters, paladins, priests, druids, mages, and shamans are paper. Warlocks are mushrooms. Paper beats rock. Scissors beat paper. Scissors also happen to beat rock. Until rock hits 60, at which point rock becomes an unstoppable killing machine, and then also beats paper. And wood beats scissors, but it can't find scissors, because scissors are invisible. So scissors beat paper and avoid rock, and that is called balance.
And that is called balance. My favorite part of that is like, as rock becomes the rock. So piggybacking off of what you said, that Forge World needs its own category. Forge World is mushroom. They're in the mushroom category. This imagine a little mushroom here off to the left of my screen. That's where Forge World is. Yeah, it's just like that was my favorite part, because at that point in World of Warcraft, like warlocks didn't function. Like their dots lasted for infinity, but you could one-shot them too, and they could chain fear you with no like diminishing returns. But they were so wackadoo. But there was a debuff bar that was like super super tiny. They didn't function. You have unanswered questions. But the whole point, the whole gag is that they just kind of sit outside the balance paradigm. They're just other. It's great. Yeah, no, it's like at that time period, like warlocks, they were just a non-functioning class on any proper paradigm. Nobody quite knew what to do with them. Warlocks didn't really get good or useful until they upped the amount of debuffs you could have on the bar and like messed with their fear mechanics and stuff. So what I'm going to go ahead and do, and I'm going to grab this image that represents Forge World, and Forge World is mushroom. We're going to put it back down here on the bar, okay? It's mushroom. So here we have the plastic. I actually have a couple of these left still. So here we have the plastic battle bike. For Space Marines, the sort of like slightly older school one. Maybe they're still using it. I have no idea. But this is the one I actually have. Well, this isn't mine. This is the person who shared it on the feed. But my speeder bikes are this type, this sculpt for my Blood Angels. And when they put it on there, I was like, I know exactly what this person's going to say before I read the comment. I saw the photo, and if you've seen these things, they have this seam that goes all the way down the middle and back around. Yeah, guaranteed to fall over. Yeah. Now, honestly, the seam is ridiculous, and you're right about the top heavy chaplain. But that's where it ends. So it's shit. It is famously shit, but it's like kind of washed up famous shit. It's shit, but it was still pretty great. This one, I wasn't surprised to see, but I kind of was. The Black Coach. Now I have owned 3 Black Coaches in my life, and I have a 4th one sitting over there, and I have put together 0 of them. Someone in Chat Gang had to have put one of these together. I was surprised to see it on the list, and I wasn't, but I was kind of ambivalent. You actually hurt yourself, like building the Black Coach. That's funny. You actually hurt yourself. That becomes respectably shit. Okay. Oh, a Maw Crusher. Okay. I think it's respectably shit. The overhang alone is just like, mwah, like like that's the kind of like Games Workshop sculpt team. The kind of like the best sculptors I think in the wargaming game right now. I see you, Kingdom Death. You have some pretty good stuff, but like just like the totality and consistency and like the ability to distribute and like all those other things. Games Workshop's the best right now. That's the one place. Like I've got my criticisms kind of like up and down the Games Workshop sort of like spectrum of business. But when we get to their sculpts, like their new sculpts, I don't think they've released a bad one. They've released some like I'm ambivalent toward it, but they haven't released like an objectively bad one. If they have, it's like a couple of them, and they're still batting like 99. They're still batting like 900. Like ooh. Their on base percentage is basically 100% when it comes to like full model or full range releases, right? Like just absurd. Should just have a flying base. Disgusting. Get out. All right. So this one's on here because the doc. This is the doc's answer. So we must honor the doc king, Frank. He said bloodletters. He's kind of he's a pretty proficient hobbyist. He's put together his fair share of minis in his day. Bloodletters were the standout for him, which I found kind of quaint. The way you fix it was with a mausoleum. You base it on the mausoleum, the graveyards. So Doc actually dropped this one here for us. I know why, and I have an idea of where it should go, but I want Chat Gang to kind of weigh in for the Doc's sake. What do y'all think about the Doc's submission? 'Cause I've got thoughts. Haywo hates these models. If this was a different tier list, they'd be close to Ale Guzzler tier for him. I don't know why he hates them. I find them kind of endearing personally. Like I actually think they're kind of neat looking. They remind me of Diablo 2. Worst models to put together. So these are bloodletters. These are the little corn demons. But like I said, I find them rather bloodletters. The demons, the little ones, not the big ones. They're fine. Yeah, not hard to put together. Frank said the mold lines. Like he's never had to scrape so many mold lines. And I like this. Isn't about whether you like them or not. It's whether you like putting them together. Yeah. Yeah, like Halo's got a strong hatred for these things. I like them. They're quintessential '90s demons, 100%. Yeah, 100%. No, I'm with the consensus on Chat Gang in terms of the model itself. Like I like them. I find them endearing and quaint. Like they're just neat. I just like them. Marge with the potato. I think I like them. But as far as the mold lines and Frank hating the mold lines, his exact quote was, "I've never had to scrape so many mold lines on 10 models, and I never built any more because of it." That's shit. That is kind of, I feel that's definitionally shit. So there they are. I'm gonna put them on the shit list. And then we have the Harlequin Death Jester. You think they are the least disgusting demons? Khorne itself is the least offensive to your senses. Hey, Dreamer, how's it going? Been a while. Yeah, it has been a while. How you doing? How you feeling? Um, so this one was submitted by Luke Stone, Cinderfall Gaming. Um, and I had to get the pitch because the model looks cool. I might have grabbed the wrong image because there's a couple like the Death Jesters, and I don't know 40K. Sorry, but he said the Harlequin Death Jester, and I thought I'm like that's like a relatively new model, isn't it? And he's like, yeah. So like what's up with this one? Oh no, it's sweet as hell. But basically, it's about like the cape. Like you actually have to like sort of like put on the arms and like hook the cape up underneath it, and I found that to be respectably shit. So I'm gonna go ahead and move this here. Like, just like I don't want to be like doing fucking Jenga when I'm putting a fucking mini together. Okay. And then we got the flayed ones. Flayed ones actually came up a few times in the thread. Yeah, I got you, Femonk. I got you. We'll get to that. Flayed ones. Now, I don't know anything about these models. They showed up a few times. Everyone said they were terrible. I'm gonna just leave them at like meh shit. They made it to the party though. Put up Krieg Engineers. All right, Gaunts. So this one I actually do have some familiarity with because my buddy plays them. They weren't that bad. There's enough of a consensus to where they're just, they're shit. Sorry, D6. Sorry for you to learn this way, this purely objective, scientific manner that they're shit to put together. I'm sorry you had to learn this way. I was hoping I could break it to you softly. They can be spindly, yeah. Hormagaunts, Tarmagaunts, all the Gaunts, they're respectably shit. Way too many of them. Fucking every one of them's fiddly. They're like just vomitous. The sheer like the relentlessness of the mini makes them respectably shit to put together. Like it's not like other Horde armies. Other Horde armies tend to be like bing bang boom, and they've got like a quick assembly to them. Fuck, zombies are probably like my two favorite kits to put together in Age of Sigmar right now. And number 2 is going to surprise you. But number 1 is zombies. The new zombie kit is, my god, it's so good. Like it's amazing. There's so much variance. You can't really fuck it up. Like because they're undead. Like they're a dream. I will do the inverse of this. And zombies S tier probably need a nerf. Way too easy to put together. If you've only put together the ones in the in Curse City, you're not getting the real kit. That's not the same kit. They look similar, but that's not them. But this is not good minis to put together. Number 2 is Ungors. Ungors and Ungor Raiders. They're all like squiggly and pot-bellied and stuff, and they're just like, yeah, like they're so like they're it's weird for like an old sculpt that has like very much that box frame to them, but because you can just like squiggle and wiggle and you can just like they like you can just do anything with them and they come together super easy and you really can't fuck them up. And you could do like you like your whole unit will have all unique poses just because like how squiggly their limbs and their heads and stuff are. But like all push fit models wouldn't even make it. I don't think push fit is like they're all shit in the same way that like all metals are shit. They're unremarkably shit to put together. They're boring. That's their crime. Yeah. You've got 96 Termagants, and they were annoying. But with the guns, it wasn't that as bad. Yeah. All right. Here we go. Controversial opinion maybe coming up. So here our Graveguard. Where do y'all think I'm putting Graveguard? I love death. Death is, my thing. I can't be objective about death. I have blinders. I don't, I think everything in death is the best. Clearly this one's here by a mistake. Reasonable? Respectably shit? Yeah. What don't lend themselves to sub-assembly? No. No, these are cream of the stop. This is the poster child for cream of the stop, okay? It was like you know what? No, I'm gonna do it. Double winner. No, they jump up. I decided because so many people agreed that Graveguard were the worst model to put together. So Graveguard are unassuming. I probably got a couple stashed around here somewhere. No, they're over there. Just wolves and zombies in arm's reach. The thing is like they're plastic, so you're like, oh, and then they've got like a few bits, and you're like, this is gonna be easy. The lean, dog shit, just fucking worst. Like they have this pimp lean. It grew on me a little bit as I was putting them together, but then I hit this like sort of half-life breaking point where it wasn't cute anymore, and I just started to hate them. And I love skeletons. You'd think my love of skeletons would pull me through these models. But the real thing is they fucking hate glue. The way their torso glues to their legs, they've got this little like single point of contact, like it's on one spine vertebrate, and then like the sort of base spine vertebrate, and it's like tucked into the corner of the back of their breastplate. So you'd think that you'd have like this little like catch point for it to hook, and like that would help it glue and stick. But it's flat to flat, and I scored it too. Like I actually started scoring them, and it doesn't fucking matter. They will not stay together, and that's before you try to put their fucking shoulder pads on. And the whole time they're just stabbing you. They're super stabby models. They want you to know that they don't want to be disturbed. These restless undead would prefer to rest. Yeah. Yeah, no, they're horrible. All right. I'm just starting to set stuff up a little bit higher so we can see it here because things are starting to get pushed down. So these are Gorgruntas. Now what I found, oh man, the fucking shoulder pads. Oh, they're horrible. No, they're double winners. They're not like the top of the double winner list. They're on the bottom end of it. But yeah, this is it. There's so, like everyone's got Graveguard. If you've ever put together Graveguard, like they lull you in. They're like, I'm a skeleton. Skeletons are sweet. I've only got a couple bits. This is gonna be easy. And then you start doing it, and you're just, no, I never asked for this. Yeah. So I was super surprised that Gorgruntas kept showing up on the list. But it wasn't Gorgruntas. Everyone said specifically Gorgrunta ears. And I did this lazily. It actually took me way longer than it should because like it kept getting partial images, and then like I realized I had to like half all the image sizes, and it wouldn't take PNGs, so I had to convert everything into JPEGs. This program is dog shit, by the way. I understand why Haywo refuses to make the tier list, but he'll do them if other people make them for him. And it was just model that made me hate Graveguard. One fucking model. Yeah, Graveguard are bad. Like I've put together the vast majority of the entire Grand Alliance of Death. There's only a couple things I haven't put together, and most of it's Night Haunt. I've even put like I put together terror guys, region schools, horrors, crypt fiends. I've put together like all the flesh eater stuff. I've put together. I think I've put together every Soulblight Gravelords model right now except for Lady Annika. Um, so like all the new Soulblight Gravelord stuff, every last bit of I have a uh, I have I have the engine to put together, the Coven Throne to put together that I've never put together before. I hear that one's kind of a pain in the ass. So we'll see. But yeah, I mean, like it's mostly some Night Haunt stuff because there's just like a shit ton of them. Um, and then yeah, but I put together the vast majority of it. Almost all the death stuff I've ever put together, I like it. It's good. It's fine. Um, Mortarks are a pain in the ass, and like Terror Guys slash Vlazdas are a pain in the ass, but like they're not. Anyway, but yeah, Graveguard are like fucking horrible. So Graveguard double winner. Look at all the trauma bonding happening right here in chat. That is definitionally a double winner. That is S tier. That is not only is it the worst model to put together, but you walk away from it harrowed. You've seen some shit, like, and you are changed, and you will never be the same. Hex Wraiths. So Hex Wraiths surprised me. I don't find them particularly bad to put together. Does anybody have a strong opinion about Hex Wraiths? Because I know where I'm about to put these. There wasn't even really like a story to go with them. Just like a very, I did respect the sort of finality with which the person was like, "Fuck Hex Wraiths." And I'm like, all right, yeah, like puts you on the list. So, yep. All right, Hex Wraiths. Shit. They got to the party. Welcome to the party. Not everybody's here. All right, Metal Icket Claw. When this one was proposed, everything related to Night Hunt I heard is awful, and my experience with the Briar Queen confirms. Great. Grimghast Reapers are fine. Chain Rasps are fine. Bladegeist Revenants are fine. I haven't put together a black coach yet, even though I now am on the 4th time a black coach has been in my possession. I'm trying to think what else I put together. Well, no, I don't want to. I don't want to keep talking about Night Hunt. I'll have like slip ups. Yeah, pain. They're like very. They're not. The thing is like they're spindly models, but they're not like finicky spindly to put together. Like they don't have like you're attaching like 2 super tiny like tips touching, and like if you like they're not really doing that. I got a stream putting it together. Yeah. No, it's a prize for Rantathon. Rantathon, of course, is my charity for mental health causes. This one is going to be for Take This. Take This is a gamer-focused, sort of multifaceted organization. They do a lot with like sort of gaming culture and game-related mental health stuff. But then their resource page is one of the most comprehensive. It's July 30th, July 30th, July 31st, starting at 10 a.m. on the 30th. We're giving away a bunch of shit. If you donate. Like not everyone will get something, but you have a chance, and extra donations don't get you extra shit because it's not a raffle. That would be online gambling. But also, for my personal morality, I want everyone to have a chance to win something, no matter how much or how little they donate, with one exception being that the grand prizes, there's a minimum threshold throughout the stream that you must meet, and you're automatically entered for that. But as you're donating throughout the stream, you're entered to win all the like minor prizes. And when I say minor prizes, one of the minor prizes is a whole Necron's army. A minor prize, like a whole Necron's army. So, you could donate $5 during one block and potentially win an entire Necron's army. Yeah, this is gonna be a big deal. We've got a whole Stormcast Eternals army. Well, a whole and a half. It's 3,000 points of Stormcast Eternals. Like there's all kinds of shit. So it's but yeah, that black coach isn't mine. That's for the giveaway. Yeah, a whole Necron's army is a minor prize. The third big reveal will be coming shortly regarding the Army prizes, and then from there, we've got gift cards from Pro Painted Studios. Pro Painted Studios, huge shout outs to Pro Painted Studios, by the way. They have, they've not been like a part of. They're not like official sponsors or anything, right? But like, I have used their products, and they're awesome. My Ossiarch Bone Reaper turtles. My Ossiarch Bone Reaper tokens are purple. That's where the turtle came from. I tried to say token and purple at the same time, and turtle is what I said. Are purple. Gorgeous purple color. Like, that exact shade of purple I love. That sort of like deep purple, like the band. No, it's either got to be like magenta, or it's got to be like a deep purple. And so like there's this deep purple, gorgeous, like one of the most useful things I've ever had. Their little like combat tracker thing that they just started releasing for 3.0 is like excellent. Prompt releases. I actually can talk to a real human on Twitter about their product. Like, fucking love it. This is the definition of a small company that you want to like fucking deal with. They make a quality product and you have access to them. Like, what I want to see the whole world become is just shit like that. Get rid of conglomos and huge companies. Just a bunch of tiny little people that like are, sort of word of mouth, and you send them a Twitter thing like, oh, yo, dude, I'm sorry, like your token broke. Here's a new one, and they just send it to you. Like, that's awesome, fucking awesome. But again, they haven't like officially sponsored us or anything like that. But one person who donated to the Rantathon said, I want to get pro painted gift cards. And they said, "Hey, I'm getting these for a charity event. Like, do you do any discounts or anything like that?" And they like threw in an extra $50, which is 2 sets of tokens for your army. Or if you have 2 armies, that's like 2 armies worth of tokens, basically. So like, just like kind of arbitrarily threw in like they're not like officially sponsoring. They're just fuck it, here's $50 towards that. Awesome. So sorry, I didn't mean to self-advertise within the Rantathon, but July 30th and July 31st, tell everybody forever, come donate to mental health. It's a great cause. This time I've got something a little bit more internationally friendly to sponsor, so I don't feel bad taking money from people in Europe, like I have for the last 2 years. And I don't actually personally take the money. It goes directly to the charity via the Tiltify app that I use. It never touches my coffers. That way I don't have to worry about fucking taxes or anything like that. And that way it's going directly to the cause. So, there we go. There's my pitch. Where was I? Icket Claw. Love the magnetic dice box. Got with those vouchers. Yeah. Oh shit. Yeah, you got the pro painted vouchers last year. Yeah. So Icket Claw would have been on here for this alone. So this is this is my pet rat, Icket. I don't know how I keep Icket right underneath my monitor. Icket Claw. This is Sir Icket Claw. Sir Icket Claw was actually knighted. Not to be confused with the Skaven Icket Claw. They're 2 different people. Icket Claw, the Skaven was never was never knighted. Sir Icket Claw was. You'll note that Sir Icket Claw is on the floor. You can see the coffee here. This is the couch down here. Because Icket Claw was kind of like a tiny dog, or like a really huge rat. When I was home, Icket was never in his cage. He was either on my shoulder, chilling on my bed because he wanted to be, or like I'd set him down and he'd just like roam around the room that I was in. And he never really scurried into corners and hid and ran away. He just like chilled. He was a great little rat. He was busy, he'd look around and he would actually like a dog. Like if I was sitting there and I was like, reading a book at my desk and like writing up an adventure for for a game, like he would actually come over and like put his little like paws up on my leg, and I grab him, pick him up, and put him up on my shoulder, and he just like chill there. Like, he was awesome. He was my best friend. So I keep an image of Icket Claw hanging out here. He lived about 4 years. It was like 3.5, something like that, right? Through middle school into high school. He was the second rat I owned. The first rat I owned was named Queek. Queek died like kind of fast, but he was already old when I got him. So he lived like a year. And the person who gave me Queek was the man named Scott. Scott is actually the one who taught me how to play Magic the Gathering in like the 6th grade. So he gave me Queek. Queek was already like a year old or 2 years old or something like that. Rats live like 2 to 3 years. And Queek died. And then like he had a new litter of rats, and I came over when they were like of age, and I picked out like tiny Ratto, and I picked out Ickiclaw because he was the albino, and I was like, fuck yeah, albino rat. And so I picked out the albino rat. And I took him home, and it just, I didn't train Icket. I just hung out with Icket, fed him. He when I would, if at first when he was young, I would just like whenever I was home, I would take the lid off the cage, and so like he could like hop up on it and just like chill. And then I would start to like when I'd come home and I'd see him like I'd pop the lid off the cage and I'd like pick him up and then I'd like set him someplace and like he just kind of chill. And at first I was like kind of afraid to let him down on the floor because he might run away, so he'd like be on my desk or on my bed, and we just like hang, and he always loved to be on the shoulder. And then like gradually, I just like give him more space to roam and stuff, and he just got old and old. And he would actually come when you called him, which was like the most awesome thing. So you'd like I go in the living room. This is actually a living room picture, obviously, coffee table, couch, right? So I'd go in the living room, I'd sit him down, and I'd like be watching Letterman. Letterman and The Simpsons are like kind of like the only things I really watched around that time period, or like anime, but that would be VHS. So I'd be watching something and like Icket would just be like hanging, and then I like kind of lose track of Icket Claw, and I'd be like Icket, and he'd come running over. He just like, and, so he was awesome. And his favorite thing was hide and seek. You would throw a blanket on the bed, usually the floor because it would get more of a spread, but you could throw it on the bed or the floor. You just throw a blanket down, just like let it crumple, and then you tuck your head under the blanket, and he would run up and he would like nib your nose. And then like he'd run, and then like you'd take your head out, and then like you'd go and put it in someplace else, and then he'd come up and he'd nib your nose, and you do that, and he loved he'd love hide and seek, and you'd try to find where he was, and that was, and he just, so that was his favorite game. He was awesome. I got him around the time my mom started taking my siblings back, kind of one by one. So like everyone knows this. If you watch me long enough, I ended up like in foster care and had a weird relationship with my mom. And but at one point, so my grandma came and rescued us. But then like my mom kind of like got each of her kids back except for me and kind of just like left me forever. And so like as my siblings were leaving, Icket Claw was kind of like becoming my my best friend. Yeah, so he was really awesome. So this Icket Claw is not the one we're talking about. We're talking about the opposite of this Icket Claw, who is a wholesome, awesome rat. We're talking about this one here, who I guess is the biggest pain in the ass in the world to put together. Spindly, fiddly, and Nick True, Dr. True, from the Indiana Warhammer Club, paid somebody to put it together. He was so frustrated with it. That makes it automatically respectably shit. So there's that. So that's the Icket Claw. Not to be confused with Ratto, Friendo, Icket Claw. I had one rat after Icket Claw. That was Snitch. Snitch wasn't, like, he was fine. He was a rat. But he wasn't Icket Claw, and so I stopped getting rats after that. It just, like it was like that. It just wasn't the same. It was, so I haven't had a pet rat since. I did have 2 ferrets, like around college, right after college. But haven't had a rat since. If my kids want a pet rat, totally. Rats are excellent pets. They are dog smart. So if you're like you're on like a limited budget or like small space or something like that, and you want a pet, you want some camaraderie, like rats get a bad rap, especially from Games Workshop, the bastards. Uh, Rats are the opposite of like duplicitous bastards. They're the most successful mammal on the planet. Like basically like next to humans or above humans. They're on every continent. On like the number of mammals that are on every continent is like humans and rats. Um, so they're highly social. They're super caring, super inventive, super intelligent. So if you need a cool little pet, get a rat. And that might have just been Skaven propaganda. You don't know. You'll never know. So Olander. Um, we were just talking about Night Haunt. There was a couple people who honked Olander, but there weren't really like strong, compelling cases. I suspect if I put her together, I'd go like respectably shit though, because all the Mortarks are a little bit finicky, and if this one's the one showing up and being called out specifically, this might be a pain in the ass. So I'm gonna set it sort of de facto respectably shit. Now I kind of got upset when I saw somebody say Lauka Vi or Death Mommy here, Nightmare Mommy. But when they talked about sort of getting her to sit on the torso and stuff like that, I was like, yeah. But it's just it. I've put together Spindlier. No, she needs to be next to the other mommy. She needs to be Spooky Mommy. Respectably shit. Metal Hydra. Metal Hydra's on here, despite it being metal, because you have to pin everything, and it's the first time you pin everything and then it doesn't work, and and you realize that the best way to actually put it together is to get a blowtorch. That makes it respectably shit. The Monolith, the first one from third edition, I believe it was. I hate this model. That's not a put together thing. I never put it together. Every time I saw it, it looked like dog shit. It reminds me of a cheap GI Joe action figure. Not like that GI Joe are cheap, although they are. I mean like a cheap knockoff GI Joe vehicle. Why do people hate putting it together, D6? This is the early one, the first with like the stupid plastic crystal. I always thought it looked cheap and shitty. I never saw it like in that time, that like early 2000s, late 90s. I think it was early 2000s, closer to early 2000s than the late 90s. The early 2000s, I remember seeing them like it came out as like kind of their big release, and I'm like, that's dog shit. I'm sorry. Uses flat miter joints. You needed a rubber bandit. Oh, okay. So it's respectably shit. Got it. All right. All right. Here we go. So these are Sisters of Slaughter. Sisters of Slaughter represent anything with a fucking whip. All whips, all chains. Um, they are all cream of the stop. I know. Controversial opinion. Every whip and every chain in AOS is like it not only is like an acceptable amount of shit, it is the most it is like I will quit Warhammer. Frustrating. Uh they're shit to put together. They always break. You're always repairing them. They're just the worst. Like they are just every whip. Every whip, every chain, all of them. If it is a wobbly, freeform, whatever, it's terrible to put together, and it always breaks. It breaks so much it makes you want to quit Warhammer. So this is a some Eldar spaceship. What was it called? Um, I don't know what this one was called. It had a name. Where was the pitch for it? Oof. D6. I see you. Claw for sure. More Claw votes. Um, Zoanthropes. I've seen Zoanthropes a few times. New flayed ones. New flayed ones are a monstrous affront to all things and should be would best be left to the dark oubliette of history. Independent legs, hips with no fitting sockets. I think that's why. That. Yep. I gladly put the flayed ones on here. More Zoanthrope votes. Shanzor quit his Soulblight Gravelord project because Graveguard. Yeah, another vote for Graveguard to be the S tier. Where did it go? I don't know what the fuck this thing is called. The Tantalus. There we go. Oh, hey, it's a raid. Well, somebody open a window. How's it going, McFace? Yeah, the Tantalus. All right, Hungry Panda, thank you for having my back. The first one you had didn't have instructions, but the way I put it together was better than GW's instructions when I got the second one. Funny. That's great. That is I had the skeleton archer chariot back with like 4th edition undead. And I don't remember it coming with instructions. That doesn't mean it didn't have instructions. But like my memory of putting it together does not involve instructions, and I'm fairly certain that like they either forgot to ship them or like they fell out the box and I didn't use them and I had to like put it together just like out of figuring it out. And that's the first kind of memory I have of putting together a Warhammer thing. Doing good was painting some Wraithguard. Nice. Wraithguard are Eldar, right? Like they're the tall spindly ones. Sorry, I don't know 40k too well. You'll have to forgive me. How's it going, Sweet Roll? I'm just so this is we're doing a little tier list stream. Now, unlike other tier list streams, where everyone knows that tier list streams are kind of lazy, that doesn't mean bad. That just means they're lazy. I'm lazy as a person. Lazy's good. Leisure is good. This is kind of a lazy stream, and we're doing a tier list. This is the worst models to put together. Okay, now these have to be exceptionally bad to put together. This is a party. If you even make it here, the person putting it together is already in agony because there's a lot of bad models to put together. It kind of sucks, but this doesn't have to do with like how it looks when it's together or how sweet the model is or how cool the concept is. This is purely the assembly. The monolith, I feel. Yeah. Finished painting for tonight, but ready to offer input on a Kellyan King. I can't wait. I want to hear, because this is another one I was surprised to see on the list. Okay. The short mechs with the axes and bowling pin heads. Yeah, they're not like the Hooge mechs. They're like the short ones, because the Hooge mechs are what are they called? They're called something slightly different. Like I think they still have Wraith in the name, but like they're Hooger. Yeah, sorry. Like I said, my 40k knowledge is shit. It's trash. So yeah. LOL bowling pin. Yeah. So we were talking about the spaceship here, the Tantalus. Does anyone have any input on the Tantalus? I've never seen one where the main body was not warped, and mine was freaking nightmare. So this is what this individual said about the Tantalus. Never seen one where the main body was not warped, and mine was a freaking nightmare. So, anyone have any Tantalus? Wraith Knights and Wraith Lords. Yeah, that's it. That's the good shit, right? Alright. I'm going to put it at respectably shit because, like, your shit shows up, like, warped. Like, it just hates you that little bit more, you know? Like not only is it a pain in the ass to put together, to begin with, but now it's just like warped and shitty. Like, oh, that's respectably shit, right? The kind of the definition of respectable shit. Um, Terrorgeist, and Terrorgeist will categorically also apply to like Vlazda's, and it's all the same kit. Um, I'm gonna automatically put this in respectable shit. It's once you break one of these fuckers, you will never get it back together. Um, Going together isn't as bad. You know, no. Cream of the stop. It's a pain in the ass to put together. It's spindly. It stabs you a bunch because it's a super stabby model. And once you break it, at least the whips you can get back together somewhat. They're just going to break again. Once you break a Terrorgeist, it'll never go together again. You're just fucking buying another $160 fucking model or whatever they've inflated them up to these days. Yeah, no, this is cream of the stop. Like you're just like, it's so bad. You've been in that heavyweight boxing match, and like it's about to go to time, and you're relieved it went to time. Cream of the stop. Thralls was an interesting one because Thralls showed up a couple times, but I was surprised to see it. The standout comment was about their wrists. That you have, like, their wrists are, like, super thin, and you have to hold them together forever to get them to set, because I'm guessing you're gluing flat on flat. So, like, that's already kind of respectably shit. But then there was another comment about them, and I can't recall what it was. But do y'all have any input on Thralls? I mean, come on. The IDK is, like, the new hotness, isn't it? The back collar / tassel things are annoying. The arm connecting can be bad too. Yeah, the arm connecting the wrist. I think that was the main thing. All right, I'm going to drop them down to just like, yeah, they're shit. They're at the party, though. Already exceptionally bad to put together. But I think you actually talked them down a peg. Tree Lord Ancient. Tree Lord, sorry, not Tree Lord Ancient. Yeah, I'm dropping them down to just meh shit. Yeah. I was they kind of, again, they made it to the party, but yeah, they're just shit. They're not. They don't fail. They might go back and be mushroom. You know what? I just got the data from the 12 computers that make this list super objective. They're mushrooms. They are mushrooms. Akellion King / Volturnos. This was the one I was like really. This is the I think this is the one where I just went, really. This was the one. It was like this one and the Death Jester were the two I think I was the most surprised by. So I feel it sounds like we got a couple like IDK stands or IDK fans here in the audience. Why did someone tell me that this is the worst model they've ever put together? Because that's a big. The Akellion King, you will have a shit time no matter what. Impossible to sub-assemble rider mount. I had to do individual legs plus torso and glue them to the ass thighs as mandatory to glue in the first steps. That's my submission. I like that you tuned into the stream just to complain about it. That is respectively shit automatically. The caves is 3 parts with huge gaps. Respectively shit. Did at any point when you were putting together, did you think about quitting Warhammer? This is a very important question. like if you were about to put it together, you're like, you know what? Fuck Warhammer. Almost. You had to buy a second one to mulligan. Oh god, no, that's cream of the stop right there. Yeah, you invested I know distracted sat reps in here he's talking it down a little bit, but his talking it down isn't as good as your story of how bad it was. For you, this was the worst model of your life. For distracted sat rep, it was a Tuesday. This is cream of the stop material right here. So this is a respectable list. All right, and then Paul Conti. Paul Conti failed. Didn't read the notes. Didn't read the assignment. Didn't turn in his homework. And in fact, is kind of in general, like just kind of just kind of failed at this. He showed up. He's like, oh, I've liked putting together every model. Get the fuck out of here. You made a new tier on my list because you showed up to my cathartic airing of grievances. I'm going to look over here, Paul Conti, because I know you're watching the show. You showed up to my stream about a cathartic airing of grievances to clear the air of negativity, and you come in with this like positive vibe. Failed. You made a new tier. This is your doing. You sit there and think about what you fucking did, Paul Conti. I know what you did. You know what you did. Get in the fail zone. Fucking stay there. And lastly, Spirit Hosts. So Spirit Hosts. Honestly, Spirit Hosts is the reason this list exists. Every Death player in the world has a story about putting together Spirit Hosts. Now, there's a way you can brute force them together if you're an experienced assembler of models, like with sprue goo and stuff. But that's not how you're putting them together the first time or two. And they are the definition of stabby. I personally believe that Death, Grand Alliance, the Death players, we are a cult. I'm not supposed to tell you that, but we're a cult, and our rite of passage, because every cult has some sort of like self-destructive rite of passage thing, right, where you have to like prove yourself. Ours is putting together a thing of Spirit Hosts. You're not a Death player until you've put together a thing of Spirit Hosts. Now, they are not double winner. You will bleed putting them together, though. You will want to stop. The pain will be so immense, but as a Death player, you know you must. You know you must prove yourself. So they are cream of the stop. Whoever designed the assembly for the Spirit House and the Akkalian King has a meeting with my hands. Now, I'm often like marveled. I marvel at the technology where they're at now to get stuff onto a sprue. All right, where they like the AutoCAD file that they decide to like put the flash and stuff, like where they decide to connect to the sprue and how they design to the sprue. Now, they are not looking at it as a hobbyist, mind you. It'll drive you crazy. Like, direwolves are a clusterfuck of a sprue. Like, the numbers are fucking all over the place. They're wherever they fit. Like, it's gnarly. But from like a engineering stance where they're like, we got to get as many of these wolves on as few sprues as possible and make sure that you can't ever see any of the flash or mold lines, right? Like, they have a completely different set of like criteria they're going for. Is it Paul Conti? No. Note that I found the picture of Paul in like a fucking tuxedo. Like a model. See, there's a double entendre there. Like he's modeling. All right. It was funny. It was a pun. But yeah, like I'm consistently impressed by whoever like puts the stuff on the sprue. Not from like a hobby perspective. Like I said, some of the sprues are confusing as fuck. But from a like, you son of a bitch, you did it. You crazy son of a bitch did it. Like, from that perspective, it's fucking commendable. The original Metal Thunderhawk, that sounds like not an Age of Sigmar or Warhammer Fantasy Battle thing. What is that? So we actually have like a nice little, if this extended off the screen like it kind of should, we'd have a nice little bell curve here, wouldn't we? Look at that. We almost have like a, not too bad. A little heavy on respectably shit, but yeah, probably should be, right? Yeah, 40K shit. Yeah, I don't know. Sorry. So yeah, like I like this. This is a good little bell curve. The robots did their job. Remember, this is empirical. This is not my opinion. This is factually correct. You can check it out. There's data and analytics. There's some math involved. I think there was even some some sort of like geometry that was used. Some Euclidean math and Fibonacci sequences and whatnot. The machine certainly ran their PEMDAS. So this is empirical. This is not subjective. How long have I been live for? An hour 30 minutes. Wow, I should do more tier lists. This is like free content basically. Honestly, the hard part was like it took me longer to put this tier list together than to go through it. That's embarrassing. Uh, it probably took me 2 hours to get this set up. So, um, I don't know how I feel about that. Every one of you who does this for another content creator out there, by the way, you're a fucking saint. This was a nightmare. I hated putting this together. Their interface sucks. You have to use the tiniest file sizes you've ever imagined. They don't like taking PNG. They only want JPEGs. So to convert a bunch of fucking PNGs to JPEGs, um, why are you using the worst like image format there is? But whatever. It comes with a briefcase. That's awesome. Mm. Well, let's just go through some of the greatest hits here. See, look at this. This fucker's been blowing up all day. The new Plastic Escher gang from Necromunda didn't listen to the assignment here. Small glue points and high on an uneven sculpted base. I mean, high heels is sweet. Um, these things are dope looking though. Oh, look at the look. Look, I drew for this. Let me enhance here for a minute. I drew a line for the glue points for context. They are pewter, by the way. This is so good. This is fantastic. um, I summoned Spirit Host yesterday. The struggle was real. Fucking hell. Welcome to the cult. It's amazing how many people like Spirit House and you gotta keep in mind there's gonna be a selection bias here, right? So I have I hate the fucking word brand, but I have like a brand. I'm like horror guy, death guy, right? Like it's so people who follow me are probably going to skew towards liking death stuff, right? So when they see my tweet, like we're gonna get a skew towards death, but even so, observationally speaking, like everyone knows the greatest hits of worst sculpts to put together is like Spirit House. Graveguard though are way worse. I like Spirit House. You don't have to put together too many, and once you get to a point where you don't care anymore, you just start start saying fuck it, and you just like plastic glue and just like slide them around, and you start to brute force them together after some point. You cannot brute force together a Graveguard. They hate glue and they hate you. So I just put together that together. It was awful. What are we talking about? Ikit Claw for sure. Beautiful model, but that cannon on his arm is cursed. I'm glad we put Ikit Claw on the list. Fantastic. Also, Eat, Pray, Love. One of the coolest homies out there. For if you don't follow them, excellent hobbyist. Well, fucking look at this shit. Excellent hobbyist. One of the most gangsta Beast of the Chaos players like in the entire community. Fuck, it's so good. The conversion work looks like he painted it and he had someone else fucking dope. Skip that. Ooh, dice. Playing some Beastie Boys. Yeah. Envy. All right. So yeah. Eat, pray, love. If you want some Beasts of Chaos in your feed. Bing. The old were the worst for me. They never stayed together, and the glue points were awful. I've also pinned them, and they fell apart because they were so top heavy. Funny. Those blades were a pain. I feel like I gotta 4chan this and start from the bottom and scroll up. I'm missing context here. Yeah. So these ones here. So mine is the Metal Executioners from 6th edition. You didn't have to build anything but glue their massive blades onto the hilt. Those things broke nearly every time I played them, and it wasn't. And there's multiple people who like corroborated this, and I find it particularly sadistic. The old pewter connoisseur, such a tiny contact point. Yeah, again, we get it. Metal and stuff sucks. Metal Zoanthrope. Yeah. The Snotling Pump Wagon. Really? Small fiddly bits that melt apart. If you look at it funny. Oh, man, that's good. Good pitch. Good pitch. Also, the Wood Elf Dragon on the subject of Wood Elves, because, dear God, that thing hated glue. Yeah, some of these models that, like, they find, like, a special plastic that despises glue. The original solid lead Avatar of Cain. Even pinning wasn't good enough. In addition, it dented my wall as a child putting it together. Whew. I feel like I should surprise give away something to folks. Like do like a random drawing and like not let them know that I was gonna do one. Well, yeah. What is this? No problems with Icket Metal. I'd rather. Fair. Every single one of you is wrong. The correct answer is the Space Marine Land Speeder. You never got a bag of rubber bands. At least a pint of glue. That shit is never staying together. I love the like the absolute like just indignation going on here. Someone read the assignment. Perfect airing of grievance. Oh, that's excellent. They try to make the pain worth it. Which one's this? Let me guess. Oh, here we go. Agree. A graveyard are the absolute worst. It's why they gave them such good rules. It's true. Only the truest connoisseurs of death know the might of the graveyard. The cannon arms cursed. Yeah. Arm angle is wrong, and his back banner is crooked. More Icket Claw talk. Yeah. Everyone, there's a lot of hate on Icket Claw. I was astonished. Tons of people. See, your halberd looks straight. What's going on here? So I've decided Metal Icket Claw is a double winner tier with Metal Scrap Launcher. Fair. I built both. Blah blah. I see. This looks good. This looks good to me. And the halberd looks I can see like a little wonk, but like all metal like tends to bend and warp a little bit, right? Yeah. That looks good. No, that's fine. I think we're caught up now. Someone doesn't mind Finecast, get out. One boss from a previous job bought one and looked through the instructions. He read that you need a hacksaw, and it was like, nope. Third Ed Necron Monolith, another vote for it. The Space Marine. Second vote for the Land Speeders, nice. Metal Scrap Launcher, built 2 for me, but got paid a lot to assemble a third. Screaming Skull Catapult, Hell Cannon, Plastic Doom Wheel, Screaming, because ouch, pokey bits. A lot of people's like, so this is like a subjective affair for the people responding. My list is not subjective, okay? But the people responding, it's subjective. It's the worst model you've put together. You know, like it. You know, that's why the story was so important. because the story is like like your experience doing it. I know what everyone like the consensus of what people think sucks. You know, it's more like why it sucked for you, or why you think it sucks, right? That's what the airing of grievance is about. You don't know frustration until you've tackled the plasma obliterator. What a name. GW's Adventure Net. Yeah, okay, I read this one earlier, but I didn't like it earlier. All right. The Space Marine drop pod. Oh yeah, those did suck. And they have the stupid fucking doors. For all their wonderful plastic engineering, JW didn't provide any extra pins for the bits around the engine. The ones that need to be perfectly straight. Like you're like sweating. Like you're in the bomb squad as you set the pins. Muma Kill from Lord of the Rings. Didn't read the assignment. This would be fail tier. But you get a like, so I know that I looked at it. It's easily the old resin Spartan tank. Back when the tracks were separate. Disgusting. You have to, like, attach the things. All metal with gaps. So, yeah, I read that. Cool. All right, we're all caught up there. I don't know how much I'm going to go into it. Do I save it for another day? So at the end of RantCast, I usually do something called, like, the final soapbox or the final blast. Like, it's too quiet without somebody else here with me. I always do something called, like, the final soapbox. Where I let my guests sort of, like, say something that they want to say, or... sorry, my desktop is embarrassing. Let me get something else up here. I've been making a lot of art for my Vampire the Masquerade campaign. You'll have to forgive me. So a lot of people know Adepticon happened.